Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And in this video, I'm going to be doing my personal prediction for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2021 NFL season to see how they're going to go. Obviously, the additions of Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne from Clemson, and then you've got, Tyson Campbell from Georgia. I like the addition of Tyson. I feel like he brings some speed and some good size, to him. So I really do like what these Jaguars did, then even later in the draft, at tight end, Luke Farrell, I feel like he's going to play a big role as well, that connection from Ohio State. And so I really do like what they did, UAB's Jordan Smith as well. So some good pieces here throughout the draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars from top to bottom here. So I'm excited for the future of these Jaguars. They really set themselves up nicely, I feel. And then you talk about the addition of someone like Marvin Jones to that receiving core that already got, DJ Shark and Chenault Jr. So those guys, Jamal Agnew, Philip Dorsett. So they've certainly got some nice pieces here, and I'm interested to see how they're going to be used. Offensive line, a guy like Cam Robinson, Brandon Linder, AJ Cann, Jawan Taylor, guys like that. So I'm really excited to see this Jacksonville Jaguars offense, as I feel that Urban Meyer's going to add different dimension. It's clear he's going to look to pound the ball as well. James Robinson last year was a tremendous addition as an undrafted free agent, and then obviously drafting Travis in the first round. And so I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to be utilizing him in the offense. And then Carlos Hyde as well, that former Ohio State connection. So yeah, it's clear they're looking to run the ball here and do some different things. And so I'm really encouraged by what the Jaguars have done in terms of the future for their team. But I'm going to be talking more so about the present of these Jacksonville Jaguars. And on defense, I do like, what they've got going on there defensively as well, especially the addition of Shaquille Griffin as well, CJ Henderson back there. And then you look at, up front, Miles Jack, Josh Allen. So they've got some pieces, Devon Hamilton, and I'm excited to see how these pieces are going to gel together here for sure. As they definitely brought in a lot of free agents during the offseason to try to improve, So I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out for these Jaguars here this upcoming season. But with that being said, though, let's go ahead and start talking about some of these picks here for the Jaguars. Just keep in mind here that I do incorporate upsets. So just because I cannot emphasize this enough, just because you see that a team that I picked to beat one team does not mean that I necessarily think that other team is better. It's just I'm incorporating a lot of different things, different factors that typically happen through an NFL season. As we all know, there's plenty of times where we project a team to look like a 13-win team, then they go out there and win about 7, 8 games. Upsets do happen. Jaguars beat the Colts last year. Jets beat the Rams last year. Upsets are a part of the game, and so they're a part of my predictions as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with these picks. And so with the first one, the Jaguars versus the Houston Texans, I got this one going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just feel that early in the season, especially, Urban Meyer and the unpredictability in terms of just what to expect offensively for these Jaguars, that new look, that's going to bode well for them. And I'm also anticipating that Houston's not going to have Deshaun Watson, as well. So I gave that one to the Jaguars. Now, the home opener against the Broncos, I feel like the Broncos, they have so much athleticism, a great team. However, I'm just not sold on Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater in terms of just being that quarterback that the Broncos really need to take them to the next level. And so Trevor Lawrence, and company, I feel like this is one that they can steal at home, and start off 2-0. So at this point, obviously, everybody's excited. There's so much going on. And then against the Arizona Cardinals, I'm extremely high on these Cardinals. Be sure to check out my Cardinals video. And I've got the Cardinals right here getting that W. And so week 4, Thursday night football, Jaguars, Bengals, this year's first quarterback taken versus last year's first quarterback taken. I'm going to give it to Joe Burrow and the Bengals here on the road for this one. And then in week 5, these Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown. But, it's a division game, and you can never count out a division opponent. And so this was going to be a huge upset here in which the Jaguars find a way to beat these Tennessee Titans. They're obviously familiar with each other. They play each other often. So I give this one to the Jaguars here. Now, at home against the Miami Dolphins with Tua and company, I gave this one to the Miami Dolphins here. So I've got them going 3-3 before their bye weeks. Coming off their bye week, though, against the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson and company will prove to be too much right now. So I gave this one to the Seahawks. Week 9 against the Buffalo Bills. That's another tough one right there. But in terms of just the team that they're facing, Buffalo that's got so many things that they can do offensively, defensively, Josh Allen and company. They're a dangerous combination. So I gave that one them. Against these Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis, at this point, I think Carson Wentz is going to be playing, better than what we've seen over the last few years. So I gave this one to the Colts. Against the 49ers, whether it's Jimmy G or Trey Lance, I definitely feel the 49ers are going to be a good team. Gave this to the 49ers. Now, this one at home against the Falcons, this one I feel could go either way, honestly, either way. But I'm going to give this one to Matty Ice and company. I feel like later in the year that they'll start playing a little better than they probably will to open up the year. So I gave this one to the Atlanta Falcons here. But again, I feel this is one that the Jaguars could very well win this one. And if you're asking me who's going to be the favorites in this one, I think the Jaguars will be the favorites there as well. And then week 13 against the Rams, I've got the Jaguars. I'm sorry, I got the Jaguars losing that one. So that one's going to go to the Rams. Okay, there we go. So I've got the Rams winning that one. Week 14 against these Tennessee Titans. Yeah, got Tennessee winning that one. Week 15 against the Houston Texans. Jaguars, again, should be the favorite there. However, I do feel that, at this point of the season, it's one in which, obviously, Houston's going to have a better idea this time around of what the Jaguars offense is going to look like, and even, hey, I don't think the Texans are going to go winless this upcoming season. And so this is one game that they probably can potentially still think the Jaguars are the favorites here, but I'm going with the Texans in this one. And then week 16 against the Jets, the weather should be a factor here. Zach Wilson and company will win that one at home. Then week 17 going down to the Patriots. I've got this one going to the Patriots. And then week 18 against the Indianapolis Colts, I've got the Colts winning that one. And so basically, yeah, I've got them going 2-4 in the division, 3-14 overall. The record says one thing here as 3-14, but a couple games that I feel that could potentially go to the Jaguars here, honestly, is that I feel this week 15, obviously that's a game that could go to the Jaguars there. Week 12 against the Falcons, that's another one that I feel could go to the Jaguars there. And so, in looking through this one, on week 16 as well, that's another one that could go to the Jaguars here at 6-11. And so, yeah, I feel like, and then week 4, in terms of against the Bengals, that's another one that I feel could potentially go to these Jaguars. So I feel like the ceiling for this season for the Jaguars would be 7-10, And so if I was just focusing purely just on the Jaguars and the games that they could win, but just could win, I feel like 7-10 would be around that ceiling of what to expect for the Jaguars this season. Obviously, this is a tough team to predict without knowing how their offense is going to look. So many new additions, so many different key pieces right here. But yeah, 3-14 is what I had for these Jaguars, but their ceiling is more so probably around 7-10, which is good because I feel like 2022, they'll be right back in the conversation in terms of competing for the division title and so forth. And hey, if Trevor comes out and he really gets going, and this is a team that I still do believe can compete this year for the division, if he were to come out and just ball out for these Jaguars and everything just clicked, and then just something just wasn't working out for the Titans and Colts. This is a team that could, still be competitive, I should say, within the division. But yeah, so there you have it. 3-14 is my pick, but 7-10 is the ceiling for this Jaguars team. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I enjoy making these videos. So I hope that you guys, enjoy it as well. Well, let me know what you guys think in terms of just the Jaguars and what to expect this upcoming season. Would love to hear from you guys. And honestly, these are just projections. So try not to let it, get to you too much, just Hey, we're here talking sports, and if you disagree, I definitely do agree that the Jaguars could certainly be better than my 3-14 projection, but just keep that in mind. These are, including upsets and things like that. So yeah, don't take it too personal. But with that being said, thanks again for watching and see you guys.